house, which has kind of failed me the last couple of times, but um, we shall see. I hope it works and it is giving me feedback that people are on here. So I am waiting to see if everybody can hear me okay and that the internet is indeed working. So anyway, welcome to Wine About It Wednesday, which I kind of feel like maybe I need to change the name a little bit because now I got like some Arnold Palmer here. So cheers to that. Thank you for joining. But it was never really about alcohol anyway, because it was about to give a toast to, hey Elizabeth, can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I hope you can hear me okay. My internet's been a little bit weird, so I've been like a little worried that it's not behaving properly. But okay, there's 12 of you on here, I hope. Yep, okay. Great. Okay, that's exciting. So anyway, yeah, it's always about giving thanks. We call it Wine About It Wednesdays because we always wanted to give a toast. And who says you can't toast with sparkling water or iced tea or whatever you want? Drink alcohol if you want, but ever since my cancer diagnosis, I've stopped drinking and changing a bit my diet because, hey, like we always talk about, control the controllables. So those things I can control. And guess what? I don't even miss it. I'm fun even without alcohol. So I certainly won't need any courage to dance either. So I kind of like don't need that. So we got rid of that. So anyway, a couple of those little updates, about me. Got my new boobs, feeling great. 2 weeks out from my double mastectomy, and I feel really good. I took some Advil this morning. I've been out and about, feeling pretty good. And yeah, I do like the stage of my cancer, horses on the brain all the time. The stage of my cancer got went up a little bit. So I went up to a 2A because I had two lymph nodes involved. So like that was not great news. But I met with my doctors and they don't think I need radiation, so that's really good news. I am still waiting for the pathology on the tumor itself, and so that is called the oncotype. And so it's crazy, like the amount of like intelligence testing they can do now. Like it's truly amazing about really being able to know what to exactly give me for like my particular cancer. So that's like incredible. And I feel like I have a great team. And I saw my surgeons yesterday. Everybody was happy with the way everything looked. And yeah, I'm on the mend and I might try to get on a horse just to walk. I just want to walk, but I feel like that might I might be ready for that. I got one drain out, still waiting for the other one, and I think that one goes up into my armpit. So that's been like that kind of hurts a little bit, and that feels really tight and like stiff. But if I keep chopping my wood and keep working at it, it will get better. I did not feel that way on Monday. Like I told you guys, I had a good cry. Kind of a funny story. I joined this Facebook group, which Team Tate TV is fun and positive and like not a complaining site, even if we call it Wine About It. So I joined this like cancer group on Facebook to be like, yeah, I should get the real deal from people who are actually going through it, and I'll find some inspiration and I'll like meet other amazing women. And so I was feeling sort of like, is this my new normal? Like I can't really like put my arm above my head because like my armpit, because they took 8 lymph nodes in total. So it's like, oof, my armpit like really hurts. And it's like Washing my hair, I can do that now. I got a shirt on, like a normal shirt over my head today for the first time, so it's like a big day. I figured like 2 weeks out, I'm gonna like get after it. But on Monday, I did not feel that way. And so I was reading about like, oh, like what's everyone else's experiences with the nerve pain and the tingling and the limited use and like rotation of your arm, like, and all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, I think this is like it could be permanent. And then I just like freaked out because I'm reading all of these like responses of like, yeah, it's been 2 years and I still can't raise my arm. And, there's like three comments of like, I don't have any problems and I'm great. And then there was like 37 or like 300 comments about how they never regained their arm the way it ever used to be. It hurts all the time. It's so tight and it's stiff and lymphedema, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I totally freaked out. And I was like, oh my God, like, what if this is like my new normal? And this is like, I'm limited in this use of my arm. And I was like, wow, I kind of freaked out. And I went there. And so then I cried a lot and I feel much better. And one of my ladies here, shout out to Debbie, our little voice of reason here. And she was like, so, like, I think instead of that group on Facebook, you should maybe find like a group of like elite athletes that are going through what you're going through, because I think that you'd have a little bit more alignment with those kind of people than other people who are not in top shape and aren't athletes. And I thought, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I should definitely do that because I have two equestrian friends who have been like actually like five equestrian friends that have been like amazing inspiration to me. And I have really found courage and strength through their stories. And yeah, and at the end of the day, people who have had cancer and who have kicked its ass are out busy living their life. And you know what they're not doing? Commenting on Facebook about all their limitations. So, yay for Debbie, exactly. So, thank you, little Debbie, for that. And yeah, I'm just one foot in front of the other. I am surrounding myself with love and allowing myself to have a weakness. And I am slowly working on making that stronger because, like anything, I was on stall rest for 2 weeks. So, like everything kind of starts to like stiffen up and like not be great. So, I'm going to give myself patience. I keep reminding myself that if I if I treat myself like a horse, I somehow like can separate myself from it and I'm a way more patient. So, I just keep thinking like this is a thing that I need to be dealing with inside my barn, and I will make sure we take the best care of this injury or like situation or sickness or illness or like whatever you want to call it. And we will slowly build back up and take it one step at a time. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I still am waiting again for the oncotype, which will determine if I'll need chemo or what. So fingers crossed. There's still a lot of meditating and praying that still needs to happen. Um, Couple of different things. We have our new pink Team Tate Academy hat, so you can support Team Tate Academy and support research for breast cancer by ordering some of these cute little things. And so, yeah, put a comment in below if you want to get one of those cute hats. I'm sorry I'm not wearing it tonight. I kind of had my hair up and, because I washed it and then it was just in a ponytail. And so this is the look we have tonight. But they're really cute, really cute. Yep, a little close up. So, yeah, that's great. I see Gail's on. I'm so glad Gail's here because we had a conversation and this whole chat tonight is about what we were talking about. So stay tuned. I have a couple more announcements to make. I just want to thank all of you for, I got this nice necklace. I mean, I got some cookies. I got a cute shirt. Found out uh, who sent that. So that was good because that was a mystery. We got some cookies. So if you sent cookies, let me know if that was you because they are very good. I'm getting flowers. Thank you guys so much. And these came today. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you to my family at Brook USA. And speaking of Brook USA, I don't know if this is going to come in probably backwards, but I will put the information in the comments below because we are doing at 6 o'clock on Thursday, October 21st, we are doing again dressage riding to a live orchestra. Like it's actually as cool as it sounds. um, I rode Darby and Montana 2 years ago. We had to skip last year because of COVID. It was so cool. The Spartanburg Philharmonic comes, and Sally Frick is amazing, and she's our neighbor just down the street at Motlow Creek. So we've got tons of great riders riding. Jess and Ashley from here. Julio's gonna ride. I mean, Toy is gonna ride. Tracy is gonna ride. It's gonna be so awesome. And I mean, we have almost raised our goal is 45,000 and we're really close. So if any of y'all want to come, it's amazing. Definitely check it out. It's like snacks and wine and live orchestra and dressage all in one event. It's going to be totally great. But you can donate, you can buy tickets, and you can find that out at brookusaevents.org. So we would love to see you. I'm going to be riding. Hell yeah, I'm going to be riding. So yeah, that's exciting. Oh, again, we have made it possible because there were a lot of requests. We made it possible for you guys to find your way into the academy. So you should join the small tour and you can send us an email and like get in there and check it out and see what the little videos are about and see if that kind of teaching works for you. We've had awesome feedback. We've got like over 600 members. It's like one of the loves of my life. I mean, I can't thank enough Cerise and Chris and Catherine from Red Mare who have helped me create it and manage it. It's like Abby's on the team. It's like, it's so fun. So if you guys have an extra 12 minutes a day, you can click on a video and watch things. You can get inspired, think about things a little bit differently so you can train your horse well at home. So you can kind of get these like, it's not like a virtual lesson, but it's like a demo of a good exercise and what you should be feeling and what your goal is and what it should look like, and troubleshoot some of the issues you might have at home on your own horse because um, we all, at the end of the day, who's ever on that horse is training it. And I know you can do a great job too. So check it out. Yeah, what else? Oh, the podcast. This is so fun. And I still to this day can't believe I'm on Apple Podcasts because I think that's cool. And the one coming out this Friday is The Means to the End, Paving Your Path Towards Your Goal. So again, our podcast, Dressage Life with JJ Tate, comes out every Friday. It's so fun. Cerise does a fabulous job, and all the girls at Red Mare and Team Tate Academy do an awesome job, and I'm so grateful to them. But, so, we're done with the cancer talk. Ooh, and Elizabeth, thank you so much. She can't emphasize how great the Academy is. She's in New Zealand and 100% it works. So I did not pay her to say that. But thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Yeah, so the big, so okay, so like Gail is on here and she is like my second mother and we are so connected. She was my first instructor, my first trainer, and yeah, like my whole teenage life, like another mother. And we are so connected. We are actually going through cancer at the same time. So, like, that's weird, but here we are. And so, um, you know, we're talking about cancer, and a quick shout out to Karen and Ed Roberts, who have gone out of their way and above and beyond to help us both. And we love you guys, and thank you so much. But Gail and I, to like pass the time, we're talking about cancer. She has already started her chemo. And so to distract our minds, we like to discuss training issues, student challenges, and I mean, you know me, horse, 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 horse. So we were talking about um, this whole thing of, you know, like asking the horse to go too much sideways and like yielding too much from the leg. And I mean, one of the things I love about Gail is that she is so committed to the correct way of training horses. And she absolutely has instilled that in me. She's made me from the beginning. I mean, when I was like 12, I mean, this is like I was a teenager, and she made me so aware of what like the right way was, that she never fell into any gimmicks, and I mean no shortcuts ever, and always looking to myself as a rider first to improve like what's going on. Like it was absolutely never ever ever the horse. And so she would always say like, this one time I almost fell off, and I like like I kicked the horse because I was like frustrated, and I kicked him, and then he like bucked and spun around, and I was like hanging off the side. And she's like, don't you forget ever that you're up there for two graces, the grace of God and the grace of that horse. And if either one of them want you off, you do not have a chance. And I mean, I think I was like in my like wild teenage stage, so I must have been like 16 and like a real big deal. And so I got humbled real quick there. And that's important to always keep that in your mind, that the horse, I mean, there's a cute like meme that goes around Facebook, but the horse is truly doing the best he can with the information provided, because, it is always about the horse giving us information about how well or how not so well we're riding. And what's wonderful about Gail is that she is 100% honest, even if that's like not what you want to hear about whatever your shortcomings, or like how you reacted there. Like she will not ever in a mean way unless you deserve it. But she will just call you out on like, no, think about that. Like really become a thinking rider. And she is always going to tell you the truth. And as I go on in this life, it's kind of shocking that like some people don't really want to hear the truth, because it's much easier to just blame the horse, right? It's just like, well, he isn't listening, or like he doesn't want to do this. And it's just amazing that as the rider, like it is really kind of always our fault. And we always joke about that, right? That it's like, it is always your fault, period. Like, end of story. And that's not that like to be blamey, that's just for growth. Like, we all need to strive to become better riders. And that's by also like learning more about ourselves. I mean, that is why Charles goes on and on about the virtues that horses give us, and that anyone who is ever going to be expected to, rule a country or rule over land, needed to learn these things on horseback, because the horse is like this incredible creature who, we think we're training them, but they are actually indeed training us. And so I always say too, like if you love your horse, like learn to ride well. it is so much about our development. And the horse shows us, they kind of like put up that mirror, and it's up to us to truly look into that and say, how can I do better? And, this is where Charles always makes me laugh because he's like, that's why it's called a riding sport and not a horsing sport. But like how many times have we watched lessons that, the rider is allowed to just be, crooked, falling off to one side, pulling on the horse's face, and then get impatient with the horse and touch it with the stick because, like, he's not doing, something. And it's like, yeah, but like you are not providing that horse with the right information to be able to have a clue what you are asking. So we always talk about it too, like we're either causing it outright or we have failed in preventing it. And that's not like I want you to become a defensive rider and like not let any mistakes happen. Like it's completely okay when you are at a certain level to hold your horse accountable for what you've asked him to do. But there is this like rider checklist we must go through so that we make sure we're not like contradicting the horse, like and like actually preventing them from being able to do the exact thing we were asking them to do. Like, am I holding? um and that could be anywhere. Like, am I holding too much in my neck, or my arm, or my forearm, or are my hips tight? Because the horse will interpret a non-following stiff seat also as something that is telling him to not move so big. So it's so important to really like look within and really ask yourself, like, am I holding in my hips? Are my legs too tight? Um, we must always ask ourselves, like, am I asking clearly enough? I think that's a huge thing. Like, are my aids contradicting themselves? Like sometimes we want to like drive the horse forward, or he feels really stuck, right? He's like behind my leg. And so we want to like kick him, but we're riding with a hollow back, and our seat bones are actually pointing like against his flow of movement. Therefore, he's like, I hear your leg driving me, or your spur, or like maybe even the whip, but like your seat's telling me not to go, or your hands are telling me not to go. So I feel, as the horse, like he feels really contradicted. Like, should I go, or should I like not go? Like which aids, because they're totally opposite, like which aids am I supposed to listen to? And then the horse just like gives up and just like stops listening altogether. And then we're like, oh, he's so dull, you know? But like in a way, we sort of cause that, So it's always important to really, again, like look within. Um, I think another great question is, am I aiding in the right moment? Like, is my timing correct? I think that is something that is like, I mean, as a kid, my mom made us all learn an instrument and we all needed to dance. Of course, I love dancing, so I did jazz and tap. And of course, I learned to play the saxophone, and I was in the band, like the marching band. But it's such a great sense of rhythm that it has totally helped my writing and my teaching. Like, if you listen carefully, sometimes even when I'm teaching, I am actually like telling you things in the right moment of which when you should aid. And so it's such a musical thing. Really working on to feel your timing is also something I find extremely important and that we need to pay attention to. So, like, back to the big thing Gail and I were talking about, and we're going to probably do like a soapbox session because Gail will have a lot more also things to add to this. But the thing we really like sort of get crazy about is this like the overuse of, well, I would call it like extreme yielding off the leg, right? And y'all know I love me a good turn on the forehand. I mean, I use that a lot, and but like for me, the turn on the forehand is to teach the horse something. Like when I put my right leg on, I need your right hind leg to answer. I need it to step under towards the center of your gravity. I need it to step towards your midline. I need you to yield in your rib cage, which will bow up your back and put your neck down and bring your hind legs under. And you need to move from the pressure away from the pressure, right? Horses by nature move into pressure. So that is something we need to teach them is like pressure from the leg. I need that same corresponding leg to do something. I want to get the horse's attention. He's got his like ears up and like high alert, waiting for something to jump out of the bushes. I'm going to put my inside leg on and say, yo, dude, yield, like pay attention. I need your ear to be flicking back. I need your attention. But it becomes like this overuse of like go, 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 sideways, sideways, or like spin around in a small circle. Total like full pass sideways. And I also use a leg yield. I'm not like anti leg yield. I like leg yield. But we always must understand that a leg yield is for obedience and not strengthening. Like, so, the horse is going to be obedient and like yield and move away from your leg, but it's not going to collect him. It's not going to improve any strengthening properties at all. It will help straighten him, yes, but we really must take it to the next step of I know I got like cancer on my brain, so I was writing down my notes and I was kind of laughing because I'm like, well, if you want to think about it in a stage or a step. So, like, step one is for sure yield the horse away from your leg. Which leg? Inside leg. Yes, I totally agree. But then it's really important to understand that, like, step 1B is to include your outside aids. And there's a lot of reasons for this, and I'm going to go into that. But I also want to just quick come back to the idea of creating obedience in the horse by moving away from your leg pressure is like one tiny, tiny part of all of this. And it is not strengthening. So when we talk about like what builds a horse up to Grand Prix, it is strength and skill. Strength and skill. So when you can imagine like this turn on the forehand or this leg yield or this um like full yield or whatever, that is you're teaching the horse like a skill. Move away from my leg. Take this hind leg and put it over here. Move away from the pressure. Great. Check. Got it. As soon as that's like established, move quickly into the strengthening category because you got to like teach the skill, but then you need to practice the skill in the correct way to build the strength. So let's get into that for a little minute. Because, okay, so why do we need to include these outside aids? Number one, because the goal of all riding is a closed haunch. Okay? That means the horse must be bending longitudinally behind the saddle. So they go on the bit in front, right? Like we see that with our eyes, that like, oh, he's round, he's on the bit, and he's becoming, round in all three of his bascules. Hock over the back, over the neck to the bit, like round it up. But it is so important that we must pay attention to what is going on behind us. Because that back there, my friends, what we cannot see, because we're looking at the neck all the time. Pretend you got two eyeballs in the back of your helmet. And you want to like look back and ask, what the hell are his hind legs doing, right? Because that's the engine. That is where everything begins, right? If he's pulling on a rein, it's probably started back there. If he's raced into contact, probably started back there. So you want to think about that all the time. Hind legs, hind legs, hind legs. So we want to teach the horse how to tuck his pelvis, round his lumbar back, and that his tail gets like closer to the ground. And we call that a seated horse or a closed horse. That is the goal, right? To like save the poor horse's front legs from lameness by shifting his weight onto the hind legs, right? So we can't be busy going sideways, 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 sideways all the time because then we never bend the horse behind the saddle, okay? So also, this is like at least 3 of my lectures in the academy about ride your horse calm, straight, and forward. Thank you for that. Like, right? That's like the rule of all dressage, calm, straight, and forward, right? Make it straight, ride it forward. So we also want to allow that horse to have that sense that he can go somewhere, right? So, and you can imagine like you want like the 2 hind feet to always travel forward towards the corresponding front foot footprint. That's like a mouthful. So like the right hind horseshoe foot should travel forward towards the right front horseshoe hoof print in the sand. A lot of times when I'm actually teaching, I will like watch as the horse goes around the corner. I will look at, because it's really easy to like, oh, I'm bending and I'm pushing the horse away from my inside leg for bend, right? And then like, whew, out go the hind legs. When you can see where those horses' hind feet footprints are landing in relationship to the front feet, you already know if it's collected or not. Like, is that horse under behind? No, he stays like straight in his haunches and he just like pivots around. He doesn't actually bend, right? So you can like imagine like a tunnel. The horse is going through the tunnel, and you want to be able to like close both legs and send the hind legs to both sides of the bit so that he doesn't like go sideways or do anything weird with the hind legs. Number 3, because I'm a dork and I took notes. I hope you're taking notes too. So we create this like non fishtailing by the outside leg. Okay. And so this is hard. And it is hard because, I mean, we here at Team Tate Dressage up the hill have what we call the outside leg police. Anyone in our arena is allowed to say, if they see someone's outside leg, if you're like teaching from the inside of the circle, anyone in the arena is allowed to say, outside leg police, because otherwise the horse's pelvis does not change shape. And that is incredibly important. So we talk about that, that like it's so easy, it's so much easier to just like, kick the horse with your inside leg because like he's not bending or he's not listening and like, nah, I'm frustrated. And we like kick him, most likely with our inside leg way too far back. So that's like a whole nother thing. But anyway, inside leg up at the girth. Watch Isabel Worth at the Olympics. When she's coming into her canter pirouette, her leg is forward. Her inside leg is way forward. Take some notes from the greatest. So we actually need to like cup the horse with our outside leg. But it's actually from the whole entire hip that the leg needs to go back. So I like to imagine that you have like your inside column, inside shoulder blade, inside abs, inside seat bone, inside leg, like a flagpole. Your outside aids, you're actually going to like bend the horse around that inside flagpole with your knee and your thigh. Think about, is my outside thigh touching the saddle, like the knee roll? And could I, from my hip, take that whole leg farther back? Okay. Then, step two, thinking about if you had a tennis ball behind your knee, right? And you were holding the hamstring, and from your hamstring and your calf, you're holding this little ball. Could you drop the ball by opening the back of your knee? Susanna von Dietz is like, rocked my world. I love her so much. She's amazing. Anytime you ever hear anything from her, listen carefully. Gail told me to. We actually called it Tom Thorpe your legs, and that's just a whole nother story. But you want to imagine you can like, just like if I had a ball in my elbow right here and I could like drop the ball, I would like open my elbow. I want you to imagine you can open the back of your knee and drop that tennis ball. That is going to also send your energy of your power of your body. It's going to send your energy down through your outside heel back towards the horse's outside hock. This is important, especially in the canter, because that's a real weight loading leg. And that's also with this rounding and this like supporting outside aids, you anchor the horse down into his pelvis. And so it's interesting because I wrote, actually, you can think about it in both ways. Like sometimes we need to create bend always with both legs, right? But sometimes you need like one active and one holding, right? So sometimes you want to keep, but the outside leg should always remain behind the inside leg because that changes the weight of our seat bones, right? We want the horse to be bending around our inside seat bone, right? And taking, if we imagine like our seat bones are like points of a target that the horse needs to bring his hind legs up under to support our weight, his inside hind leg is going to step up underneath that inside seat bone. And this outside leg actually allows our inside seat bone to become deeper because we brought the outside thigh back. So it's like it's all related and it's all amazing how it all like works together. But we need to sometimes with the inside leg sort of push the horse up, but we have to push it up against something. Otherwise, we're just going through space. Sideways, 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 sideways. Crossing the legs. But no change of the horse's pelvis. He is listening, right? I mean, he's like going where you're sending him, but he's not in a beneficial form, right? To build himself into a better, stronger horse, because that lumbar sacrum, the sacroiliac joint and the lumbar sacral joint, like that is a weak spot in the horse's anatomy we must pay attention to. And I also highly recommend anything Jillian Kreinbring ever says about anything. She's amazing. We will let you know when you can get into her online stuff because she was here. I love her. She's amazing. But so you've got this inside active aid that's going to push the horse's torso up against your outside aids, right? Or you can have your inside flagpole steady and, with your outside leg and knee and rein, ride the horse's body around the flagpole of the inside aids. And so it really just comes down to what moment you need what, right? Because there's always like there's like an active and holding aids, right? There's like an active leg or a holding leg, or a driving active and a receiving aid, right? But it's not like it's just inside aids and nothing, just like nothing, just away he goes sideways. Like where is he going? Get over here, get back over here, and get on your hind legs and work on that sacral junction of the horse's hips need to flex. You want his hind ankles to go up, not only under, but up towards the bit. Like that's like an engaged hind leg. And that's what we need to work on every single day because by nature, horses want to be on the forehand. So we have to help them not do that. So if we just keep going sideways, we will do a number of things, right? So, number one, it's going to create a lot of torque in the horse's pelvis that is not necessary and could be like not a great idea. You also, because you're making either the hind legs go around so much, you automatically put more weight on the forehand. And I really never want the horse to like have his front hoof in the sand and then like turn around his hoof, like in the joint capsule, like, or in like the hoof capsule, like. So I like to always keep their feet moving, but it's also important to, like, for sure do it when you need it. Like if you need it for safety or if you need it to teach the horse something, by all means, I'm not against it. But it's important not to just really understand like exactly like what is our goal and like what are we going for and how are we getting there, right? So be careful about too much torque and stress in the sacroiliac and the sacrolumbar areas. Number two, we diminish the horse's desire to take us forward somewhere. We always want that feeling that the horse is like happy and like he's like joyful and he feels like ready to do whatever we want him to do and that he wants to take us somewhere. But we want that somewhere to be also forward, not just sideways. Like what is the end result of that, right? He's got to go forward. Ride your horse calm, straight, and forward. And create the situation where he wants to take you there. And you know me, I'm like a total freak about soundness. I've done lectures on this in the academy. All the time. Like, ooh, like be careful what you're doing with those horses' legs. Like those are really precious. And we have to understand exactly what we're doing. And I mean, we have a real gift that the horse actually like gives his body to us. Like they allow us to get up there and ride them around. And it's like so amazing and like humbling. And there's like this huge responsibility to make sure like don't cause harm. you know like their lives need to be enriched because we're in their life. And so we have to be really careful like what we're doing because they let us have their legs. And I mean, just as you would not go to the gym and do repetitive exercises that caused problems to your joints and wear and tear that was unnecessary, you would be like, I don't know what's going on with this gym or this trainer at this gym. He always makes me do these weird exercises that I hurt afterwards. So, like, don't be that guy. Like, really educate yourself on like, what am I doing and what is my goal? How am I getting there? Am I on the right means to the end? And so when we stress the legs by going too much sideways, we're actually teaching the horse to go crooked. And when we think about what we want the horse in the end to be able to do, we want them to be straight. So always just give a lot of thought to that. And of course, like I said before, like use it for safety. Like, yes, safety first, 100%. Use it to teach the horse something, like walk, slow down, teach him something. Keep your clarity because clarity is kindness, but then be careful just not to overdo it. And Richard, we always laugh because he's always got these like Swedish sayings that always like rhyme, and I don't speak anything except skål. That's all I know. So I'm a terrible wife. But, there's a Swedish saying that always says, what was once a help can soon become a crutch. And so, we talk about that in all kinds of different ways, that you find something that you're like, wow, I love this new thing. Oh my God, this made like such a huge difference. I have to yield him sideways or I have to like rein him back or like whatever the new tool is, it can soon become a crutch because you overdo it. So, with that, I do want to give a toast to everybody out there, putting the time in and figuring it out. I hope you guys found this little chat um, full of clarity for you and inspiring to, do right by your horse and learn your own rider checklist because every day we need to become our best version of ourselves so we can bring out the best versions of our horses. So, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next week and make it a great night. Thanks, guys. Bye.